Once we finally arrive at our destination, we see a number of people already there. Quite a few of them, too. And they're all wearing suits. They don't look like normal people just passing through.
これ以上は近づけないか。
私たちが現れそうな場所としてここをマークするのは当然といえば当然ね。
くそ。
Serrano's hiding in the shadows like Reina and me, and she tilts her head in confusion.
お花がお供えされている場所が私が車にはねられた場所
だと聞いてる。
そうなんだ。
Serrano looks like she doesn't quite believe it, and looks around her.
何か思い出せないか。小さなことでもいいんだ。車はどんな種類だったかとか、運転席や助手席に乗っていた人間の顔とか。
Serrano desperately tries to remember, but eventually she just shakes her head.
この場所に来たことすら思い出せないよ。
じゃあエリアシンクはどうだ。ここに最初に来た時、空野から俺宛てにあの神社の画像データが届いたんだ。他に何か送った覚えはないか。
そんなもの出したのかな。覚えがないな。
そうか。
ごめんね。ヒロ君の役に立ちたいのに気持ちだけ空回りしちゃって全然ダメだ。
Serrano's shoulders droop, and Reina comes closer to her.
こっちが無理をお願いしてるんだからそんなに落ち込まないで。
レイナちゃん優しいね。
Reina and Serrano smile kindly at each other. It really would have been great if these two had met back when Serrano was still alive. That thought runs idly through my mind. But that doesn't change the fact that we're still in a deadlock right now. Time slowly passes by. What do we do? What's the best course of action now? I look at my MRD to check the time.
あれ。
When I look at it, my heart starts to beat faster. Again.
どうしたの？
When Reina asks, I just show her my MRD.
またエリアシンクだ。
There's the unmistakable notification on my MRD that I've received an area sync data file. But...
それはまた私からなの？
いや、発信者は不明になってる。
Come back again and you're dead, kid. Reina and Serrano look at each other. An anonymous sender. It has to have been someone who knew I'd come here. I feel a little apprehensive. I take a deep breath and bring up the image file I was sent. When I do so, we all see...
これは
That was not a pleasant noise. It's a picture of the inside of a room. The room's only dimly lit, but I can make out a few bookshelves lined up against the wall. In addition, I recognize the interior layout.
これは駅ビルの書店か。
There's a few stores near Fuchu Station. One of them is a bookstore. I've been there a few times on my way back from school.
ねえ、ここ。
And there's somebody in the picture. Reina points to the center part of the picture. Zoom and enhance. I can vaguely make out the shape of a person. Yep, zoom and enhance. I zoom in to get a better view and realize the person's a woman. Her eyes downcast. I strain my eyes to try and make out who it is. And when I recognize them, I let out an involuntary gasp. No, not you. You're definitely still not a part of this, right? I can't make out her expression, but it's definitely her. It's Aoi-san.
お姉ちゃん。
私にも見せて。
Serrano and Reina both look at the picture in shock.
お姉ちゃん動けないのかな。
I mean, she certainly doesn't look like she's just standing there.
手足を縛られているようにも見えるな。
まさか怪我をしてるなんてこと。
They might have.
この画像からはそこまではわからないわね。無事であることを願いたいけど。
Told her bad jokes and that's what really hurts. They don't say anything, but I can tell Rain and Serrano are thinking about the worst case scenario.
とにかく早く助けに行かないと。
This is definitely not a trap. I exchange glances with Reina, and we both nod. Either way, we can hardly just sit here waiting for those men to leave. Even if we left for the station now, it would be night before we made it. I delete the picture and stand up. We're about to head off towards the station when Serrano calls out to us.
行ったらヒロ君とレイナちゃんが危ないんじゃないの。
まあ明らかに罠だと思う。
And I highly doubt they'll just return Aoi-san if we walk up to them and ask nicely.
でもあれだけ世話になった葵さんを放っておけない。でもそれにこの誘いに乗る以外に俺たちに打つ手はないんだ。
Judging by Serrano's responses, there's no more information we can get out of here anyway. In that case, our only clue is this picture. It's obviously dangerous to jump headfirst into a trap like this, but at the same time, we might be able to get some information this way. We have to be prepared to make some sacrifices.
空野が俺に託してくれた今を無駄にしたくないんだ。だから危険だと分かってても俺はここへ行くことを選びたい。
そっか。
Serrano looks down, seemingly at a loss for what to say. Eventually, she looks back at us with a serious gaze.
絶対に無理はしないって約束して。ヒロ君とレイナちゃんにまた会えること、私信じてるから。
I don't think it's possible not to be reckless. Besides, the amount of time Serrano has left is dwindling. I can't even guarantee we'll meet again.
分かった。約束する。
However, I make that promise regardless. Because I too hope that we can meet again.
約束だよ。また会おうね。
あ。
I look into Serrano's eyes, then cut the connection. As Serrano's faint smile gets sucked into the MRD with the rest of her, I nod.
守れる保証のない約束はしない方がいい。
What's she gonna do? Tell her parents? Reina mutters quietly, but I pretend I didn't hear her and say,
行こう。
nothing more. Reina also replies with a simple, yeah, and our conversation ends. Then Reina and I head off towards the station. I'm really feeling it tonight. We're gonna keep going. While mixing in with a crowd of people going to the festival, we make our way to Fuchu Station. We push our way through the throng and sneak past the police guarding the blockaded street. Unlike the main street, this area is practically deserted. While remaining alert, Reina and I climb the half-destroyed stairs leading to the station building. The familiar station plaza looks completely different now. Because of the blast, many of the station building are in ruins, and fragments of broken glass and concrete are strewn about everywhere.
ひどい光景ね。
The small event stage I saw 3 days ago has been blown apart, lighting equipment and machinery scattered everywhere.
あれから片付けられていないんだな。
まだ現場検証をしているところなのかも。
I make sure the station entrance is still open. There's yellow tape around it, but the door itself isn't locked.
俺が先に行く。
先客がいる可能性が高い。気をつけて。
I mean, we're trying to look for a person here, so we're almost certainly going to find people here. I nod and part the yellow tape. I slip through the station door. Once I'm inside, I use my MRD's flashlight to illuminate the area. Once again, convenient. The ticketing area is silent as the grave, and most of the stores have their shutters closed. Looking around, I don't see anyone. I call out to Reina.
ひとまずは大丈夫だ。
Once Rain has made it inside as well, we head off to the bookstore further in. Normally the station would be brightly lit and packed with people on their way home around this time. Now the lights and air conditioning are both off, and the air inside is lukewarm.
当たり前だけど、みんな急いで逃げたのね。
There's a number of pastries just left lying out in the open at a bakery I used to go to sometimes. Some of them have even fallen to the ground. Well, no one's gonna stop me now. 5-second rule. Okay, you see a number of toppled shelves through the window of the convenience store that sits across the bakery. Seeing the disorderly state everything's in, it's obvious just how much chaos there must have been when the explosion occurred. Seeing this much devastation amid the deathly silence is just eerie.
ここだけ何百年も経った後の世界みたいだ。
As we keep going, my eyes steadily adjust to the darkness. I just hope there's no one hiding in the shadows. I hope no one tries to sneak up on us from behind. I strain my senses in all directions as I continue onward. Is Oe-san really here? Still harboring doubts, we arrive in front of the bookstore that was in the picture. There's shutters drawn across the bookstore on all sides, but the shutter in the front of the store is half open.
明らかに不自然な開き方だな。
I look inside the entrance and see that the whole store is dimly lit. The fact that only this area is lit up is clearly suspicious. But if Oe-san's really in here, then I've got to go in.
レーナは外で待ってろ。
いいえ、私も一緒に行く。
It looks like Reina's already steeled her resolve too. Even if I try to stop her, she'll go anyway.
なら、いつでも逃げられる準備だけはしておいてくれ。
大丈夫。足手まといにはならないから。
そういうことじゃなくて、俺がフォローできるかどうかが。
ありがとう。分かってる。心配しないで。
Reina lightly pats my shoulder.
分かった。じゃあ、入るぞ。
I bend down and walk under the shutter. The lights in the bookstore are on. Normally that's supposed to be the case. However, there's some shelves that have toppled over, and stacks of books that have crumpled that make it clear that something's wrong here.
確か、葵さんが映っていたのは。
If I recall correctly, the place where Aoi-san had been in the picture was the bestseller corner in the center of the store. There was always a sign there highlighting the top-selling manga, books, and weekly magazines. Reina and I cautiously make our way over there. However, Aoi-san's not there.
くそ、ここじゃないのか。
他の場所も探してみましょう。
I start frantically searching the other aisles. But she's not in the business section, or the classical literature section, or the paperback section. I don't see Aoi-san anywhere.
あの画像、俺の勘違いだったのか。
Maybe there was another bookstore that looked just like this on the inside.
いいえ、確かにこの書店で間違いないはずよ。少なくともあの画像が送られてきた時点では。
Oh no. Suddenly, everything goes dark.
なんだ。
I hurriedly turn on my MRD's flashlight. I can only faintly make out the inside of the store. Suddenly a large shadow appears in front of us. Oh no, it's the Sharp Man. As if coming out of the shadows, he appears before us once more. When did he manage to sneak in here? I step forward to confront him, putting myself between him and Reina.
Sigma.
I call him by the name they gave him in the report, and he raises an eyebrow.
ほう、どこかで知ったらしいな。だが、そんなものはただの記号に過ぎない。
記号？
俺にとってはこれっぽっちの意味も持たないということだ。
Yeah, but at least we can stop calling you the man with the sharp glare. Because that's pretty lengthy. Sigma looks down at us with cold eyes.
葵さんはどこだ？
どうして俺がそれを教える必要がある？
That's a good question.
画像を送ってきたのはあなたじゃないの？
画像？
Oh, maybe not. Sigma opens his eyes wide and then grins.
そうか。
Uh-oh.
そんな風に貴様たちは誘い出されたということか。それを信じ込むとはつくづく単純でバカな脳をしているのだな。
なんだと。
Aoi-san's not here. Then where is she right now? I'm pretty sure Sigma knows.
それよりも
Sigma takes a step towards us.
今日こそ貴様の本当の力を見せて
Put
も
the
らえ
hands
るの
down
だ。
there, Sigma.
しらばっくれるな。俺はそれだけを楽しみにやってきたのだからな。話は
Oh,
そ
there
れから
goes.
だ。
The moment he finishes speaking, Sigma kicks off the ground. He closes the distance between us in an instant and swings his arm horizontally at me. It feels like Sigma's blade is leaving after images in the darkness. I reflexively grab Reina and push us both to the ground. A second later, I hear the blade fly right above my head. The strength of his swing is so great, it feels like he gouged out the very air he cut. If I'd been just a second too late, my head wouldn't be attached to my shoulders anymore. The chill runs down my spine.
レイナ、こっちだ。
His voice comes from directly in front of us. The next instant, as if he's always been there, a huge shadow appears in front of us. It's Sigma, who was supposed to have vanished. Appears is the only word that does it justice. He is literally just there now. His sadistic eyes bore into me.
いつの間に。
残念だな。貴様の浅知恵など。
As he says that, Sigma slashes his right arm down diagonally. His blade whistles as it cuts through the dark, stagnant air.
レイナ、避けろ。
Man, you guys have a lot of time to dodge that if you're talking. I grab Reina and dive to the right. His blade grazes my cheek. Once again, if I hesitated even a second longer, I'd be dead. Chills run down my spine again. Sigma scoffs at me, who's lying on the floor now. What, why is he on the floor?
貴様がそんなざまじゃ面白くないじゃないか。ほら、どうした？
Sigma spreads both arms wide as if to say, come on.
くそ。奴のあの動きは何なんだよ。
It looks like he's practically teleporting. I don't know how he's doing it, but at this rate, we're going to be in serious trouble. If, cut in half is serious trouble, I guess. I push myself off the ground and rush at Sigma. I remember that feeling of heat welling up within me before. I try to call it back again. I try to recreate that sensation in my mind. That tingly, throbbing feeling, where even my sight was burning. But
なんだその動きは。
Sigma swings his right arm lazily, as if he's swatting a fly. If my power was actually working, I'd be able to easily dodge a swing like that and close in on Sigma. But instead I stop and take a step back. I'm lucky that Sigma didn't put any strength behind his swing, so it's slow. His blade brushes past my nose. I feel the wind created by his slash flow past my cheeks. The current me can't see Sigma's attacks, can't read them, can't react to them. To top it off, I lose my balance and fall to the ground.
無様だな。貴様はその程度ではないだろう。本気を見せてみろ。
Sigma spreads his arms again. I still can't use my power properly. This is bad. This is really bad. This is bad. This is really bad. I don't care what happens to me, but I can't let Reina die. That is the one thing I will not allow. Do we have no choice but to try a suicidal rush at him? I hurriedly try and stand back up when Reina grabs my arm to stop me. She leans close to my ear and whispers,
ヒロキ、あんな挑発に乗っちゃダメよ。奴は強い。正面から戦っても勝てる相手じゃないわ。
でもこのままじゃ。
諦めろなんて言ってない。
she says quietly but firmly, and I finally come back to my senses.
一旦引くというのも手の一つよ。ここは不利。外に出ましょう。
We're just gonna leave now. Hope you don't mind. Yeah, Reina's right. I can't panic. I need to calm down. I can't let myself get dragged into his pace. Sigma wants me to attack him. He's just staring at me with his arms spread wide. While keeping Sigma's attention on me, I look around the store's interior, aided by the light coming from my MRD. There's only one way out. The half-open shutter we came in through. If we want to escape this door, it's going to have to be through there. However, Sigma's currently blocking our way there. The distance from here to the entrance is only 7 meters, but that's too far for us.
外に出るためにはあのシャッターまで行くしかない。けどどうやって。
大丈夫。ヒロキは私を引っ張って全力で走って。
おい、何をこそこそと話してる。
Call them maggots, that's a good one. Reina takes a magazine from the fallen bookshelf. What is she planning?
来ないのならこっちから行くぞ。
走って。
Rain, that's her new alternate name. Rain's yell acts as the trigger for me to start sprinting. I take Reina's hand and push off against the ground hard.
間抜けが。
Because of how sudden our dash is, Sigma's a second late to respond. However, he quickly raises his right arm and slashes down as we charge past. His powerful strokes sends the nearby books flying as a storm of paper whirls around us.
Nani?
Reina throws a magazine she picked up at Sigma. The light in a large bundle of A4 paper flips open as it's thrown, and in doing so, blocks Sigma's field of view.
クソ。
Sigma instinctively tries to defend against the object thrown at him. He pulls his hand back and slashes apart the magazine thrown at him. The blade parts the magazine in half like a knife through hot butter, because it is in fact a knife through a normal temperature magazine. The edge of his blade is frighteningly sharp. He barely moved his arm, and yet it easily sliced through the magazine. However, because he stopped to cut it down, we're able to find an opening.
ヒロキ
あ
I take advantage of that opening and run past Sigma.
なめるな
However, Sigma quickly follows up with another attack. He quickly realizes what we tried to sow, and turns his upper body, to swing his arm down on us again. For some reason, his dark blade gleams in the gloom. But even I could see that attack coming. I duck down and race across the ground on all fours like some kind of animal. The blade passes safely over my head, though it does take a few of my hairs with it. With this, I'm sure I'll be able to make it through and run full speed past him. I run straight for the shutter.
このまま行くぞ転がれ
Right before I reach the shutter, I pull Reina's hand as hard as I can and throw her in front of me. Reina instantly realizes what I'm trying to do. Reina keeps going full speed towards the shutter and somersaults herself through the gap. She tumbles on the floor outside.
逃げる気か
Enraged at being toyed with like this, Sigma's expression twists into one of anger, and he chases after us. I frantically look around my surroundings. I spot a dictionary on the ground nearby. Perfect. I swiftly pick it up and throw it at Sigma. His one weakness is education, I think. Or at least literature. Just before Sigma can close the gap between us, the dictionary hits him square in the stomach. Sigma's rage had blinded him into a headlong rush, so he was unable to dodge it. The force of his own charge makes the dictionary's impact all the more powerful, and deals a serious blow to him. Sigma collapses on the floor. It's nowhere near a fatal blow, but it should give us enough time to escape. I quickly duck through the shutter.
ヒロキ
Reina runs over to me with a worried expression on her face.
大丈夫だシグマはすぐには追ってこないここから出るぞ
The two of us entwine our hands again. We start running for the station entrance.
待ってこのまま逃げてもすぐに追いつかれてしまう
Reina points towards the soup store.
一旦ここに隠れましょう
いくらなんでも近すぎないか
シグマは私たちが遠くに行ったと思うでしょその裏をかくの
We've outsmarted your outsmarting. I see. This might not be a bad way to buy time. The automatic door to the soup store is slightly ajar. I guess since the electricity isn't working anymore, we'll have to push it the rest of the way. I wrap my fingers around the door and wrench it open.
外から見えないところに隠れよ
分かった
Once we're inside, I close the automatic door behind us. The wall facing out into the hallway is entirely made of glass, so it would be too easy to see inside. And the table chairs are also a bad idea, since they'll just see us through the gaps in the tables. But what about the bar area? We run over to the bar.